So this is going to be like Karthik calling Karthik movie. Okay.
I don't know. Please have a seat.
डरावनी picture नहीं बनाना बस.
We'll make it humorous. Yeah, sure. All right. So hi, good evening everyone. Hope you all are having a beautiful time at Rising. This is a first for me. I'm interviewing someone with the same name. So hello Vandana, how are you doing?
All good.
All
Lovely
good.
place.
Great. Just a warning that we're going to touch upon a mostly debated topic in the world. She who shall not be named, women drivers. So, but rest assured, I'm pretty sure after this session, all of y'all are going to walk out very encouraged and with a completely new perspective. So, I'll just start off with a small story. So this recently happened where I did a very good parallel parking in like a very tight space between two cars, and I was so proud of myself. The moment I got out, I was just thinking, okay, did anyone see that? and I took a picture of it and I got back to my office to show it to my friends and tell them, look, this is how I park. So I don't know, which made me think it's considered something really great if a woman can really drive well or park well. I mean, is this something that we've been preconditioned to, or why is it like that?
I don't know. I don't think men believe that we can drive well. Listen, every time any of you on the roads, okay, just look at it. वो उल्टे side से कौन आ रहा है? Is it a man or a woman? Watch, huh? Who's coming the ulta side? You suddenly see one accident on the road. Just check the driver, huh? Man or woman? So where is this woman can drive thing? Huh? Open your eyes and let's talk about this, man. Reality, I think they're threatened by us, so then they call us bad drivers. That's it.
Great. So, okay, let's start talking about Taxshe.
Yeah.
I just saw your jacket, the logo.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's a kangaroo and Joey, right?
Yeah.
I mean, first let's talk about the logo, and also tell me what is Taxshe and how did you enter into this mobility space? Like, what is women mobility in transportation and what does Taxshe do?
So this logo clearly stands for this little kangaroo and this little pocket of his with a little baby. So that's what we do. We have women cabs for women and children. I drop kids to schools and tuitions. I'm like an alternate mom. The entire days for school kids and everything. Sham ko we drive women in the evenings and then we do late night airport drives. Why Taxshe or any women in mobility is so important? When you see posts of mobility, whether on Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, everybody's talking AI, people are talking tech, people are talking batteries, new technology in cars. Who's talking safety? Have you ever heard? Have you seen the word safety in the mobility? And we have 50% of the population. We feel unsafe. Our kids are unsafe. So it was high time somebody started this conversation. And that's what Taxshe is here. I'm trying to create a safe environment, an ecosystem for us women and our children. Our children should not know #MeToo, the way we all have been touched wrong. So at least one segment, let's target mobility, and that's what I'm here to do. And I want more and more women to start getting into this industry. That's what I'm doing.
And how is Taxshe achieving this? Like what do you guys do?
So we run two verticals. On one hand, we train marginalized women into professional driving. Girls, it takes a long time to train them, huh? I mean, ये 10-hour classes and all is all nonsense. Sometimes I tell them, 9 महीने में बच्चा पैदा हो जाता है. They take that long. They've never sat in a car. So we are training them to become professional women drivers, and they in turn get into our cab segment. And they drive kids to schools and tuitions. Yeah. On the other hand, I run a vertical where I train women clients like you to drive. Get on and drive your own cars. Many of you all would have gone to driving schools, can't drive after 2-3 attempts, and here I am like, let's do it, okay? So for me, more women driving is safety. If a woman is self-driving, she's not exposing herself to the risk in public transport at all. Straight and simple. We're always taught to be safe. This is another way. So I'm creating safety for women through mobility right now in these two segments, and as years go by, I'm sure I'll keep unfurling more.
Absolutely. Any incident that you can narrate, any beautiful incident, something from your experience while working with women in this field?
Oh, so many. I mean, I can write a book on it, and it's like my retirement plan. I'll make some money there also. I think the daily bit, so I'm a taxi driver myself. I must tell you, I'm an investment banker, chartered accountant, turned taxi driver, turned driving instructor. And you know, every time I drive little children, they're having these little coffee parties behind, and they say, you know, auntie, I got a cut here and I got a cut there, and those little googlies, right? I don't think we women have time to enjoy our own kids like we enjoy other people's kids, you know. But it's just so interesting to see them go stress-free in the nights, right? So all corporates, now I used to work in Standard Chartered Bank, and then when we did some big numbers, we had a big gong over there to, you know, like, okay, I've done it this month, sales and etc. But in our office, we have something called a snore count. So for us, the excitement is about how many women snored in the car in the night while going to the airport, late night. And that's a celebration for us. Okay, 5 today. That's good for us. Yeah. These are these little moments where training is concerned. Every day when, you know, my training for clients ends the day I can sit on the back seat and she can drive through all the hell of Silk Road Junction and XYZ. And that look on her face, I'm in a room of all women, it's orgasmic. You know, there's no better word for it. You know, that look, okay, I've done this after 20 years. And that's like my award every single day.
That's very beautiful. You just touched upon your previous experience. You're from a banking and finance background.
Yes.
So how did you get into this? What encouraged you, or what was that first thing that happened?
I was quite out of the place, okay, in banking and all. There was no diplomacy, okay, like that. My mouth open all the time. As a child also, I think I was way too gutsy. I went and talked to my principal and said, you don't know how to run the school. So I mean, that was the level of guts that I carried. But I think beyond that, like just like any woman in this room, we've all been touched wrong. And somewhere that is brewing in all of us, and we are all trying to see what could we have done about this, right? So there was Nirbhaya that happened, which put us all on the edge. Armchair activism to the best. But after Nirbhaya, a year later, there was a rape in an Uber in Delhi. And the newspaper was splashed with the whole news. But the victim had one sentence in that entire news which said, you know what, if there was a woman driving me, this would not have happened. Yeah. And that was the switch. It was a 1 minute changed, and I think it changed my life. And it changed lives. We've done a 1.2 million abuse-free drives. So thank you, whoever she is. But she changed something, you know, and it happened possibly through me and maybe more women up there.
That's really good. How do you think Taxshe's purpose impacts the economic growth or, you know, the societal development in India? And do you believe that India as a country is promoting such kind of initiatives?
So first of all, women with free mobility. Let's look at that. A lot of our women don't go to work because their families are scared about them getting out. How are you going to commute? How are you going to come back? Who's going to pick you up? I don't have time for do all that. So when you have safe mobility for them, through women drivers, more women are going to go to work. That's your first level of getting women back to work. Yeah. Make it comfortable in all ways. People, corporates even have crashes right now. But what about the cabs? I mean, you're on tender hooks in the night, right? So that's one thing. We're looking at children who don't face sexual abuse. I faced sexual abuse as a child. I'm 48 and I still can't forget it, right? It continues into our lives, into our relationships, into everything, into our work. So when you have children who've been kept safe, that's your next generation out here. Nice, easy, without the burden and the trauma that comes, right? We're changing that. The third thing is, you know, I get calls for the airport drives from expats 3 months in advance. So they check their whole itinerary, like, okay, which flight should I take? What time is your girl available? Should I land at 2 or 3? So she's so worried about the last mile connectivity. One big flight and one Chotu sa cab there, but the Chotu cab is deciding her itinerary. Now look at it, if we had more women in this segment, tourism would really flourish. You know, today our country is not known as one of the safe countries for women to travel. If we change that image, things change for all of us out here. So there are, first of all, peace of mind. When I'm taking care of children in the car, parents are able to work with peace. Their productivity is increasing. They're not wondering, oh, where's my child? Who's going to get him? What? Kaam karo yaar, kaam ke paise milte, kaam karo. Right? So it has multiple layers. This is how layer by layer the GDP of the country can grow. It's high time. The United Nations is right now talking of, giving cycles to girls so that they can go to school. Mobility is such an important part even there at school levels. Girls are not going to school. Ke isko kaun chhod ke aayega? So, the grassroots mobility has to be free for us, safe for us.
So is that something then the government has to, proactively work with partners?
I think they should. So we recently had a grant from the Karnataka government to train certain number of drivers. At the same point of time, the bureaucracy of the government, I don't know when it's going to end. Seriously, every single state government should be thinking of this. I think people who are right now in the election mode, they should be talking and taking women's safety. There is no women's safety on anybody's charter, by the way. So one of the political guys was calling us, why don't you join this and that. I said, women's safety dalega kya charter mein fir aayegi? You know what I'm saying? There's nobody on the charter of talking of women's safety. They should be talking that, right? We are 50% of the population. So it's high time.
Absolutely. Let's not leave the men out. So let's just see how can men, support this cause, or how can they actively be a part of such initiatives?
So men are an important part of the ecosystem. Okay. Firstly, when their women are driving, men are at peace. Thoda kam kaam. Little less work for them for being the driver of the house. I think it's very empowering for a man also to see the woman empowered. I've seen that change. So everybody, the men, if I would say, will always say women are not good drivers, and that's like a taboo that exists. But how come when the same man is a father, he loves women driver for the children, right? So it's all about how you package the same thing and not make it competition, but make them an ally with you. I am being a mommy to your kid. Okay, I'm slow, but I'm driving your kid slowly. No, good. So that is, so then we are not caught with this male thing of no, not women drivers. When the man is sending his wife in the airport at 3 in the night and not himself wasting his time and going, he loves us. So men do encourage. I don't see men not encouraging. I think it's beneficial as an ecosystem for them to be part of it. This is going to happen invariably someday or the other.
Absolutely.
Tum bhi dhal jao.
Absolutely. So do you believe that, so a lot of this men-women debate that's happening, and we're talking about the safety. But there's also a broader picture of how certain things will not change also in a country because of, say, pre-existing conditions, how a person is tuned to, how they're brought up. So how would this fit into that? Like, is there any way we can probably bring a solution there?
This will change. Okay, let's look at education, ladies. Okay, we were not allowed to go to school many years back. 0, right? Then one lady, Savitri Bai Phule, she got up with a jhanda and she started a girls' school. Now imagine in those days where there was no woman studying, this lady went and started a girls' school. And today we are all educated here because she started the relay then. And could she have done this alone? Not possible. She started it and the baton passed from woman to woman to woman to woman. Today, if you look at education industry, it's predominantly run by women. Hardly any men there. So that, imagine from a place where we are not sent to school to a domination of an industry by women. Why can't the same happen to mobility? Of course it will happen. It will happen. We have to break out of this. So this is like a revolution in the making. And the more women join it, the safer the ecosystem becomes. Men will join anyways because now the women are joining it. They can't stay back.
And in terms of inhibitions in women,
Yeah.
Many of them fear, like, oh, should I try it out? No, maybe I won't be good at it. So how do we get past that and get more women to, understand the importance of, say, mobility?
This is where women leadership and the peer thing comes into play. So let's say you go out for lunch, yeah, and you go out for a nice kitty lunch with your girly friends, and out of 10 of your girls, 7, 8 of them nice, they drive a nice SUV and come. Will you believe that you can't do it? उसने कर लिया तो मैं भी कर लूँगी, right? It's as simple as that. This is where I'm trying to say that more women into driving, everybody, one pulls the other into it. It's independence. For us, driving is not about moving from one point to somewhere else. For us, driving is independence. It's about not waiting for somebody. It's about somebody not looking in the car on the rear view mirror for us. It's about I want to go where I want to go and not wait for anyone. It's independence for us. So when you see more and more women around you being independent, you're automatically going to come. That is the very subconscious encouragement you're giving to another. Okay, I can do it, you can also do.
So it is like a support system.
Absolutely.
Encouraging each
Absolutely.
other.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay.
Look at the fact today we are a room full of women. Yeah? If I start dancing right now, no, everybody will dance along with me. But what happens in a corporate setup where there are men and women? And then you look at this, so I'm from a banking, and then, when the men start dancing, the women like really wait until there's a group of women that starts up, and then the whole, यहाँ तो ऐसे ही सब शुरू हो जाएंगे, right? It's the same way. The safety happens, more women on the roads, safer is our ecosystem. Straight and simple.
Absolutely.
Go ladies, go drive. Just go. And you don't know how to drive, come to me, I'll train you.
Great. And any advice you'd like to give women who want to, enter a sector or a domain which is commonly believed to be male dominated?
Best sector. No competition, boss. Interesting, no? Okay, let's look at driving training industry. Okay? So a lot of you will say, I don't want to be a I don't want to be a driver, okay, very blue collar, whatever color.
Yeah.
But let's look at driving training industry. Driving school marketer, 2,200 crores is the annual revenue which a driving school industry in India records as per the GST records. Okay? 70% of that customer base is women. We paid 70% of that 2,200 crores to be told we can't drive. Really? Yeah. Let's grab that market, no? Where's the competition? And in this 2,200 crores ka 70% which we are paying, you know how many women instructors in the country? Other than mine, of course. 12. तो ये तो पूरा मस्त मार्केट है बॉस. No competition. I run a wait list of 3-4 months for my driving training. I have a client wait list of parents to send their kids of 4,500. Why are we running behind other industries which is so complicated and tight? This is fun. I love being in a male-dominated industry. Come on, girls, take it up. You just imagine you go on a nice road, you go commercial street, you want to buy lingerie. Okay, everybody, jockey, pocky, all of them are there. 10 shops are there, huh? One shop has a woman in that. Where will you go? Women, no? Same place. Shine, twinkle, twinkle, little star, it's our time to shine.
So it's definitely, so the example that you gave, we also feel safe and happy when we see women.
Yeah.
So that's the solution to probably anything in any sector.
Absolutely.
Great. I think we are running short of time. Can you just open up to the crowd for questions?
Hi, I really liked your spirit, and I'm the daughter of a woman who learned driving after she lost her husband at the age of 56.
Wow.
So my mother is like a super powerful woman who is on her own living in a beautiful house. So my question is about, we are seeing a lot of government initiatives of providing free public transport, especially buses. So they are being called as freebies. Do you agree on those, or do you think that it is further enhancing or empowering women who are in much more rural areas where buses are
Yeah.
You know, I don't know whether I'm giving up an answer.
Yeah, I know,
but
I know. So when you talk of free public transport, like it has happened in Delhi as well as in
Okay.
Bangalore, I think it's a very important step to have been taken. I think it's really nice. At the same time, point of time, there's a huge social divide. You know, the educated and corporate women would not. I don't know when I've gone in a bus last. It's been at least 10, 15 years. But it is a segment of women who are coming out, and it definitely increases. I think every city should do this. You know, like I said, more women. Agar bus mein somebody,
Definitely.
chedos you, and there are 20 women to pounce on him, nobody will even dare it, right? It boils down to safety. More women on the roads, wherever, it boils down to safety. So definitely, your mom should join me as a coach. I have a 67-year-old coach, okay?
Oh, wow.
First job in her life she did, she became a driving coach. And she's like so thrilled, I can't tell you.
My mother is actually very busy traveling around.
Nah, not that.
But I'll let her know the offer.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
Sure.
We can take some more questions.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Harita. Thank you both, Vandanas.
Where are you? Ah, yeah. Okay,
Hi.
sorry.
So my question is quite encouraging, and as you rightly said, it gives a lot of immense
Yes.
confidence for women. But how are you ensuring the safety of women who are becoming drivers as well as women traveling with other women? Still, the talk might be in the families that wo sirf ladki hai, who will save you both?
I don't drive men. I drive only women and
No,
children.
but I mean on the streets.
Yeah, on the streets
But
it's
going out at late in that night is still
yeah, so I'll
something.
tell you. Yeah. So first of all, our women drivers, especially in the night drives, are the ones who are in that 35, 40, 45. मतलब किसी को भी पीट देगी, you know, जोश आ जाता है 40 के बाद. है कि नहीं? Correct है ना? So first of all, those delicate darlings we don't use for the night drives. That is one safety angle. Secondly, my cars are not pink color. So nobody knows who's driving it. I'm safe out there. Thirdly, women, we teach them self-defense. Not self-defense, we teach them to beat up people. So it is a higher level. Don't bother about keeping yourself safe. कोई आया तो उसको मार दो. So we are into that aggressive. Feminist to पूरी निकल आता है सब कुछ वहाँ पे, right? The fourth thing is that we very clearly drive only women. So I've been a taxi driver myself, and this is the same thing that I was scared myself to drive anybody in my car. So that's how we filtered the client population into women and children. All these things, plus there are tracking mechanisms that are had.
Yeah, that's what I was referring
Yeah.
to. Because even the drivers,
Yeah.
you do their background check properly.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So
That's-
drivers have a full police verification behind them, and most of these drivers come through communities together. So we have an NGO as well, so we have a full mobilization team. Normally we've seen women, when we pitch them a driving career, they just don't come and join tomorrow. They will sit on it 3-4 months, and so we get to know these women. Most of them single moms, come for stability in their lives. So touch wood, it's worked out very well. Plus we pitch to them that this career, you're changing the safety quotient of the country, you're saving the children next. So when they come with that kind of leadership, it's not just a job for them anymore. There are like now March, schools have closed, now June, no. My girls will say, madam, you give me that same set of students. I said, तुम्हारे बच्चे नहीं है, किसी और के है. They will fight, no, I want that only. मेरे बच्चे. I said, तुम्हारे नहीं है, But that is the kind of, the motherhood that goes. So touch wood, it's been fantastic for us, and we track them. Like she stops on a speed breaker for more than a minute. I will be the one calling her, कि क्या हुआ? Why are you stopping anywhere in the middle of the night for 1 minute also? 1 minute is a long time in the night. So that is the level of tracking that happens on the background.
Okay, thank you.
I hope I've answered that.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Hi.
I just have one question to you. The shift in your career from a CA to taxi driver, that is one thing which I am unable to digest. How it happened? What were you doing, in the finance background, and then how you shifted such drastically to another career?
I think when the calling comes, no, it happens. then nothing can stop you. It's like falling in love. You fall in love, no, that जुनून, कोई कुछ भी बोल दे तुम तो उसी के पीछे भागोगी. It is the same way with work also. When you fall in love with your work, there's nothing going to keep you away. I could never, I'm a single mom. For me, stability of money was very important to go home. Imagine suddenly I'm in business, I don't know where's the next buck. But I was like, this is more, I'm doing something much bigger here. So it just, that calling is so strong, you can't stop it. Then you jump into it. That is the only thing I can say. It's just one switch.
So before to this, what were you doing?
I was working in a bank. I was with a lot of banks. I jumped a lot of banks to make my good salary hikes everywhere. But yes, that's what I did. I sold banking, I sold real estate. When I bought, I sold insurance. I sold a lot.
So much diversified profile, man. Daring and
This is the most enriching job I ever did in life. So imagine, as a banker, nobody knew me, but as a taxi driver, the World Bank and the United Nations gives me an award. What better footage, no? Fantastic.
I think on that note, we can call it a great session.